Good morning and welcome to Introduction to Assistive Technology. I'm Elizabeth Ortega, Assistive Technology Specialist with TASK. TASK is a nonprofit organization. We're a parent training and information center. We cover 6 counties in Southern California, which is Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, and Imperial. We educate and empower people with disabilities and their families to become effective communicators and self-advocates. And these are our services. We help families understand the special education process by providing a variety of workshops, IEP consultations, resources, and information about disability laws, rights, and responsibilities. Any questions or concerns you have regarding your child's education, you can call any of our offices. Our family support specialists will be able to help you. If you're looking for something specific that they cannot help you with, they'll be able to refer you to someone who will be able to help you. We also have the tech center. Our tech center is in our borough office in Orange County. We offer a variety of assistive technology workshops. We offer individualized lab appointments. If you're looking for specific apps for your students or software or websites, we'll be able to schedule an appointment with you and show them to you. Currently, I am scheduling the individualized lab appointments through Zoom. So I can show you through here any of the apps if we have any of the ones that you're looking for. We also offer assistive technology and augmentative and alternative communication consultations and clinics. We're currently offering through Project Communicate a free 1-hour AAC consultation with a contracted speech pathologist that we've worked with. If you're interested in the free 1-hour AAC consultation, send me an email or give me a call for more information, and so we can go ahead and schedule that for you. We do not provide AT or AAC assessments, and we have a lot of information and resources on assistive technology. Currently, all of our offices are closed. We are working remotely, but we are still offering all of our services either by telephone, Zoom, or email. You can also visit our TASK website or our TASK Facebook page for more resources and information. We have a free assistive technology focused e-newsletter that goes out once a month. If you're not receiving it and would like to receive it, visit this website, plug in your email, you'll start receiving it the following month. Excuse me. What is assistive technology? Assistive technology devices are identifying idea as any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially off the shelf, modify, or customize, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of children with disabilities. And the term does not include a medical device that is surgically implanted or the replacement of such device. So assistive technology can be any item, any piece of equipment, anything that's going to help us be able to complete certain tasks, do our work on our own. An example I like to use, something that everyone, I can say almost everyone has used before, it's the little wooden backhand scratcher. That's considered assistive technology because you're able to scratch a certain part of your body that you cannot reach. If you didn't have that, you'll have to ask someone to help you to reach that area. The definition of assistive technology device is very broad. IDEA uses the term device, and it is important to recognize that assistive technology devices required by students with disabilities include hardware and software, as well as standalone devices. So almost any tool can be considered to be assistive technology device, except for the devices that are surgically implanted. Those are the only ones excluded from the definition of what an assistive technology device is defined by IDEA. Some things that AT, assistive technology, can do for students. It makes things easier to turn on, hold things steady on its place. There's items that help students get dressed or to eat, helps help a student learn, make playing or recreation activities possible, allow or improve communication, help a student see or hear better, help a student control things such as the television, radio, or computer lights, among many other things. Assistive technology, it's grouped in 5 different categories. There's physical, education learning aids, hearing, vision, and communication. AAC, augmentative and alternative communication. And I will show you some items under each category. With assistive technology, items, devices, tools are always placed in 3 categories: low tech, mid tech, and high tech. Low tech are items that are less expensive, items that you typically have around your home. They require no batteries, you don't have to charge them. Mid tech devices are a lot of the devices that run on batteries. And the high tech are more like the tablets, the computers, laptops, any device that you have to charge. Some low tech examples, there's pencil grips. There's a variety of pencil grips. If you think that your student needs to have a better grip, a pencil that's a little bit thicker to hold, or they require the sensory feedback, there's a variety of pencil grips, and you might want to try different ones to see which one will feel better for the student when they're writing. So this one and this one, they have the little bumpies that give the sensory feedback. This one has indentations on the sides for them to have a better hold of placement of the fingers. And something easy that you can do at home if you have one, it's the hair roller to curl hair, the little sponge. If you want to try something before you actually purchase any pencil grips, that's something that you can try into the sponge. It's not as thick as the actual pencil grips because it's much softer, but you'll get a better idea if it's something that the student requires or not. Magnifying bars. There's a few different magnifying bars. This one has a highlighted strip that helps focus on the lines that the student is reading, and it magnifies the letters. This one's much wider. Reading helpers. There's the slide reader. The slide reader helps focus on the word that they're reading. As they're reading, they're sliding the little white paper on the right side. There's a paper that the student slides as they're reading each word. Also, it helps them focus on the line that they are reading. And it also has a filter, the yellow part, that helps with them reading and focusing on their reading. So here's an example of what it looks like. And there's also other reading helpers similar to the slider, but this one, you just put it over the line that they're reading. They come in a variety of colors. The color filter. Color filters are good for students who either get tired of reading, that their eyes start hurting, or they get headaches, or they cannot focus anymore. And sometimes it's because they're reading on white paper. So if you get a color filter, it might help them with the reading. There's color filters that cover the entire page. So it all depends on the student if they're able to focus on section by section, or if it's okay for them to cover the entire page and not lose focus. Scissors. There's a variety of special scissors. These are small scissors. They're about this long. They're tiny. The little loop Helps when they press, it helps bounce back so they don't put a lot of pressure when cutting. And these are the smaller ones. There's some longer, about 6 or 8 inches long. But these are much smaller for the smaller hands, and it helps with the bounce back. And they don't have to worry about inserting their fingers into the loops. Pencils, pens and pencils. There's small pencils. Sometimes students sharpen regular size pencils just to make them tiny because they have a better hold, a better grip of the smaller pencils. But there are small pencils available. There's also the golf pencils. This is a triangular pencil. It's a big grip. It does have the little bumps for the sensory feedback, and you can feel the bumps on the pencil. This is a twist and write. Also for the students who like to write with the smaller pencils that they feel more comfortable. It's a lead pencil. You twist the tip. The little sides, the light purple, those are the erasers. And then on the bottom where the fingers are at, there are indentations for them to have a better grip of the pencil. And pens are also available as a twisted rights. There's pencils with the fidgets on the top. There's smensels, pencils, pencils that have a smell. Students who like to sniff, who like to smell things. There's weights for pencils. Sometimes students put too much pressure with writing or don't put enough pressure. It could be either or. You can add weights to the pencil, and maybe that's going to help with their writing. Another type of weights for pencils. You can also do your own weights at home with nuts and bolts. With the nuts, put rubber bands on the ends and put the nuts in between, and just put as many as the student needs to feel that heaviness. And that's the picture right here. This is an Evo pen, EVO, tiny pen. This one's a ring pen. It goes in on the index finger. It's very light. Here are more low-tech examples. The handy writer. The handy writer looks like a hair tie. It goes on the hand, on the wrist, sorry. Give me a, it goes on the wrist, on the top. So you can try it with something, with if you have a hair tie at home or a rubber band, just make sure it's not too tight on the student. But this one, it has a loop on the top where the pencil goes. The bigger loop is for the wrist and the dolphin. The dolphin bangs on the bottom. So you teach the student to hold the dolphin with these two fingers, the pinky and the index. Sorry, the second to the, not the index, the ring finger. You put those two fingers down. As soon as you have those two fingers down holding something on the bottom, so if you're using the handy writer, it will be the dolphin. Once you have those two down, your hand starts getting the form better to hold the pencil. So if you're using a rubber band or a hair tie, you loop the pencil to the top. Oh, I have a white pencil. And the rubber band, the hair tie, helps the pencil stay back. And now they have the better hold of the pencil on the bottom while they have the two fingers down. And it maintains the pencil back so it doesn't move all over the place. The writing bird. The writing bird is for someone who has who physically cannot be every time we write a word, we lift the pencil really quick, we put it back down. We're so used to writing that we don't even notice that we're lifting and putting our pencils down or pens. So for someone who physically cannot be doing that, it gets too tiring for them. There's a writing board. The writing board, you put the pencil or the pen on the top, you tie the little bolt, and the bird stays on the paper on the desk the entire time. It's however they feel better to to grip the bird. They write. It does take a lot of practice to be able to write with the writing bird. It does have a tiny tail on the back. The tiny tail helps when instead of lifting up, they push the tail back, they slide and put the bird back down to keep writing. And the arthrider is for someone who needs a much bigger grip. Pencil grips are not working or the thicker pencils are not working. They just need a bigger, physically, they need something thicker to be able to write with. Years ago, they used to use tennis balls. Some students still use tennis balls. You just stick a hole through it to insert the pen or the pencil, and now they have a bigger grip to be able to write. Adapted books. The books for toddlers, they're made of the chipboard, the thick board book, which sometimes is difficult for the students to flip those pages because of the fine motor skills. Something that you can do is adapt them with sponges. So you put a little, the sample here has a little sponge on each page. So it fluffs them and it gives a gap in between the pages for them to insert the finger and turn the page. This one has popsicle sticks. These little plastic containers are from contact lenses, the disposable contact lenses. And it also has a sponge, a little sponge on it. Popsicle sticks. This one we added the page numbers. This one has a sponge, but this one's not a permanent on the book. We glued the sponge to a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper we put a paper clip. So we paper clip to each page. So once we no longer need to fluff the books, we just easily remove them without leaving glue stains on it. Another one that you can use if you want to if it's okay to hole punch the book, you can use the shower curtain rings. You hole punch each page and you insert the shower curtain ring. So now they have an actual loop to turn the pages. Specialized paper, there's a variety of specialized paper for students who cannot write on the regular college rule or white rule paper. There's a variety. This one, you can barely see it, but this one, each um, row has a highlighted part on the bottom for them to see where to write lowercase and uppercase letters. This one's boxes. They'll learn to do one letter per box. If when their writing is too close to each letter or they're writing just too big. This one says where to start and where to stop. And each line has little marks for them to write a letter per semi box and then skip one for a new word. Other the the email I'm going to send you with the handouts, I will also attach a research sheet that's going to have all the websites where you can find a lot of the specialized paper for you to download for free and print at home. And this one specifically comes in 3 sizes. There's a small, a medium, and a large. So it's the spacing in between each little semi box. Graph paper. Fidgets and sensory items. There's a lot of different fidgets, and a lot of the fidgets go under the sensory. There's the clicks, tango toys, chewing tubes. Up here, that's the necklace for them if they like to chew. They'll have it on on them. These that look like Legos are chewing for the pencil top chewables. This disc, it's for the sensory feedback. It looks like the exercising balance disc, but these are for the sitting positioning. For the students who fidget a lot when they sit, they might need that sensory feedback. So you can use one of these discs. You insert air into it, so it makes it a little bit round. And then when they sit on it, they don't wiggle as much when sitting because they're receiving that sensory feedback. This one, the red one, the circle on the top, that's called Fidget Pod. It's for the desk, for the sensory feedback. Helpful software and applications. There are a lot of software and apps available that work well for people with learning, physical and visual impairments, and it includes reading, writing, math, life skills, social skills, and more. There's this specific app right here. I'm going to show you a quick video. It's called Snap Type app.
So while I was in school for occupational therapy, I met a little boy during my fieldwork, and he had dysgraphia, which is a handwriting disability where he can't really read his own handwriting and his handwriting is really messy. I hate homework! So I was thinking, how can I think of something to help this child? So what I thought about was, why not just take a picture of the worksheet that the teacher passed out to him, and then he can just directly type on the screen. That's what SnapType does, and there wasn't anything out there that really did what I wanted it to. I had originally made this for this one child, and after knowing that it helped him so much, I thought there has to be other children out there just like him.
This is fun.
It's a very intuitive app, so I feel like you can get on it and you can figure out how to use it very quickly, which is really important with kids because if it's so complex, they're not going to be able to use it. I just pull out my phone and be like, oh, I'll show you how to use it. Or I let them try to use it and then they realize how easy it is.
It is also available on the Google Play Store. They have a free version, and they also have the Pro. The Pro is $4.99. The difference that I can remember, it's how many items, how many worksheets you can save on there at a time. Soft and Easy Reader. This one's designed for readers with dyslexia, low vision, and blindness. The accessibility is built in and it's unrestricted. It's a free iOS and Android app.
Low vision, blind, or dyslexic? Access your favorite libraries with the free Easy Reader app. Browse for a new bestseller or search for an old favorite. Follow along with perfectly synchronized text.
It was the best time of day, the July sky cloudless.
Change the text size, pick a color, add a highlight, or tweak the speed.
The July sky cloudless, the slowly setting sun a spotlight on the east.
Get your newspapers delivered direct. Or copy and paste text from anywhere and Easy Reader will read it.
Los Angeles is a sprawling Southern California city and the center of the nation's film and television industry.
Download Easy Reader from the App Store now. Easy Reader, a better way to read.
So that was Easy Reader. Moth Math has a free version. This one's available for iOS only, and the Pro version is $4.99.
Hi, my name's Henry. I have dyslexia and dysgraphia.
Frank got his panic under control.
You've probably
There's
heard
a
of
lack
dyslexia.
post
It makes reading hard.
tolerance.
Dysgraphia is like that, but it makes writing really hard. Dysgraphia makes my handwriting pretty hard to read. I use voice recognition software instead of writing. But there is no voice recognition software for doing math. And when you can't write a math problem, you can't solve a math problem. So my parents and I created an app called ModMath. It's a free app for anyone who needs it. ModMath turns the iPad into touchscreen math scratch paper. So I can do math homework without ever using a pencil or paper. Long division, multiplication problems, even fractions.
And 2 years later, ModMath has been completely redesigned to handle algebra. Variables, square roots, exponents, and more. Plus, you can share your math homework any way you like. Text, email, print, even save it to Dropbox. ModMath is a non-profit organization. So please donate and help keep ModMath free for all the kids that need it.
And over to Augmentative and Alternative Communication. What is AAC? According to ASHA, ASHA is American Speech Language Hearing Association. AAC includes all forms of communication other than oral speech that are used to express thoughts, needs, wants, and ideas. We all use AAC every day when we make facial expressions or gestures, or when we use symbols or pictures, or when we write. Augmentative communication can include the low light tech. Low light tech are letterboards, picture books, the Picture Exchange Communication System, PEX. And these are some examples of low tech items. So low light tech is anything that it's printed that will be on paper. AAC for mid-tech. Mid-tech is any AAC device that runs on batteries for the most part, and it has a synthesized speech devices that you record your voice to. There's single hit switch with voice output, single level dedicated devices, and the multi-level static display devices. For most of them, for all of them, you're able to do print. This is a cheap talk, the one with the 4 buttons. So you can print an image for each individual square, and then you record each individual square for the student to make their selection. The one on the bottom has an image, plus it has a little spot on the top where you can put the actual item for them to see. Go Talk by Attainment Company. It's also mid-tech. They have a variety of them. There's a 4 button, 20. The instructions are right on the back. There's a recording button and the erase button, the on and off switch. The Go Talks have 5 levels, meaning you can have 5 layouts printed and ready to go and recorded. And they store right behind, right in the back. So once you need to remember which image, which layout, it's which level. So you can put the layout and then choose a correct level, and it's already pre-recorded. High-tech devices are dedicated AAC devices, apps, either for iPads or Androids. AAC high-tech devices are any device that you have to actually charge. And they come with There's synthesized voice. You don't record to these. So you choose the voice. For the most part, they all have different options on the voices. Alternative access. These devices allow individuals to control their computers or devices through means other than a standard keyboard or direct selection. Examples are head pointing devices, eye movement, tracking systems, switches, and touch screens. Switches, there's a variety of switches. They're tiny up to bigger ones. You can use them on for computers. You can now connect them to your iPad. And you can also switch adapt toys. Any toy that runs on C, D, and AA batteries, you can switch adapt them as long as they have an on and off button, switch button. Um, you can you add the converter and you're able to connect the adapter. So the dinosaur that's here has been adapted. So the student, as long as the student presses on the switch, it will activate the toy. So they don't have to actually look for the on and off button to turn it on. And it also works with cause and effect. They'll learn that when they press a button, it activates the toy. There's also single button mouse. This is a mouse with a one button. And it's much smaller for the younger kids. It's a tiny mouse. When students are learning how to use the mouse, they might get a little bit frustrated because it might right click. When you right click, if you're on the Windows computer, that's when the little box pops up that gives you options to choose. And they're not actually selected what they wanted to select. With the single button, all that it does is just the selection. So you don't have to worry about them right clicking. The keyboard on here is called the Big Keys keyboard. The keys are much bigger. It only has the necessary keys. It doesn't have all the extra keys that a typical keyboard does. Assistive technology for hearing and vision. For hearing impaired, there's telecommunications, assistive listening devices, and learning devices. An example for that one will be the one at the top, the clock. It's a vibrating alarm clock. The little pad is what vibrates, so you put that somewhere near the person's bed or the pillow. So instead of the alarm going off, the sound, it'll start vibrating. Vision accommodations, there's a lot of software and apps, handheld devices like the one here. It magnifies as I read. Aids for daily living, there's a lot of different low-tech items, magnifiers, and canes. And that's it for the intro to assistive technology. Any questions? Feel free to send me an email or call me, the 714-533-8275.